Hello friends, welcome back to Ansarkari. I am your friend Vikas Bhardwaj. Again we are taking up one economy term and one question. एक टर्म और एक क्वेश्चन हमें मोटिवेशन देता है कि मंजिल हमारी पास है. And if we take up things consistently but thoroughly and not in a superficial manner, then definitely we are near our goal. So let's see what the term is. So let's see what term do we have. We have a very interesting term, inverted duty structure. Duty structure you already aware of. Duty lagi hai. Duty, any kind of fee, any kind of levy, any kind of surcharge which is imposed. आप उसको एक सिंपल भाषा में ड्यूटी की तरह मान सकते हैं, which is imposed so that there is protection of domestic or you can say local industries on any kind of imports. Now, what is inverted duty structure? So, in case of normal duty, it is on finished goods. But at times, there is possibility that you cannot put it on finished goods. That is why you are going to put it on raw materials. So, that is why inverted duty structure reflects imposition of taxation or duties on raw material imports. यानी कि you are going to purchase an air conditioner in India directly imported, so maybe it may be having a less duty, but if you are going to have an AC which is having imported parts but it is assembled in India, it will be more costlier. Or another example that we have taken is duty on the import of tires 10%, but duty on the import of natural rubber is 20%. So inverted duty structure is a kind of a protectionist measure which may discourage imports in certain ways. But if local industries are not capable of creation of those raw materials or those ingredients or those components, then definitely in the longer run it is not going to be a very successful policy or an idea. So every country must look forward to a solution. So in context of India, I ask you, when we are running an Atmanirbhar campaign and today our policy and our direction is towards making ourselves self-reliant, how do you see the role of inverted duty structure? Because so many things we are importing, especially from China. So I leave it up to you, your comment and your ideas, how you see the whole concept and its application. Coming to the question of the day. Now the question is with reference to Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. You must have heard the name AIIB. There are three statements with respect to that. AIIB has more than 80 members. Possible hai? Because generally the examination is not going to ask you until unless there is anything specific about it, or there is something significant about it, or for example there is veto, or for example there is certain kind of dispute, then membership is not so important. That is why it is saying more than 80 members. Possible. We are not leaving out even if we don't know much. But then it is Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. It must be a large bank. It must be comparable to IMF or the World Bank, or if you are not thinking in those lines, at least it will be comparable to Asian Development Bank. India is the largest shareholder in AIIB. Now, if I am aware that AIIB is one of the large banks, and if it is, I know if it is not in India, for example, if it is in China, then it is very less likely India will be the largest shareholder. If would have been the case, India would have been the headquarters, and that is not the case. That is why second concept is, or second statement is wrong. Third statement is AIIB doesn't have any members outside Asia. On one hand, we are saying that it is an infrastructure investment bank. On the other hand, we are saying there are no members outside Asia. We can appreciate and believe that it may not be having members from the developed world, but how that's possible? It will not be having members from developing countries. And you have to understand, if there is a bank or if there is a financing agency, its membership will not be confined to one continent as such. That is why third statement is also wrong, because there is desire by large number of countries of the southern hemisphere who are looking forward to having lot of investment and infrastructure. That is why only statement first and I should say is correct. First statement is correct and the second and third statement are wrong in this context. So we have to learn to deduce answers from our existing understanding, and it is not that once the question have come up and you mug up that information and you believe that next time you're going to excel. Tomorrow never comes. It is only today, and at this moment if you put your best, if you put your best, mind it, then only you are going to excel. Thank you very much. Looking forward to your comment and much. Kindly like, share and subscribe our channel. Looking forward to your comments. Wishing you a wonderful study moment and time. Thank you very much.